Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading. This is your love reading for the rest of the year. And we are going to first fix this, but we are going to look at your general energies for the rest of the year for love in this first row. Sorry, I'm already awake, phone. But then we are going to look at your person's current feelings for you, and this could be a new person, past person, whatever, doesn't matter. Next, we're going to look and see if anyone is coming towards you or who could be coming towards you, and again, past, present, future, doesn't matter. We're going to take a look and see, and then at the end, we're going to see if there's anything unexpected going on in your love life, and we're also going to pull 3 yes/no question cards at the end, so I will give you time to pause and think of those questions. But you start off with a spiritual growth card. It says learning and expanding. I feel like some of you are kind of maybe more focused on your resources. You know, this is a love reading, and I'm doing these love focused readings because so much love stuff has come up. Plus, I did love readings at the beginning of the year, and I said I would do them at the end of the year. So here you go. But I do feel some of you are just kind of going through a spiritual growth period of time, or you're more focused on your resources, or if you're not focused on your resources, the other thing that's coming up here is that you're more focused on your own heart, meaning like focusing on yourself. But I would also say this is in a good way. You have the Ace of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Cups. Again, I kind of just get like a very much a self-focus here, Libra. I don't see this as a bad thing. Of course not. Queen of Cups, she really cares about how she feels. So, if she wants love, for example, she focuses on healing, on making sure that she feels like she wants love and all those other things that go along with it. And then she enters into a relationship. So she really enters into relationships very healthy. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you are. I feel just some of you are kind of getting to this point where you're ready to enter into something that's like much more healthy, or you're getting to a healthy place so you can enter into a relationship and be healthy, right? You have the Queen of Pentacles. Very focused on your resources at this time. You've been getting the Queen of Pentacles with me for like 3 years straight, like every single reading that I do for you. So it doesn't really surprise me. I feel a lot of you could be attracting more improvements in your finances. I love that you have the Queen and King of Pentacles in this reading. There's clearly like a little bit of a blockage maybe to getting to this King of Pentacles. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you're interested in. I feel like this is saying that you want something long-term, something committed. Clearly, I feel there's a person charging in here with the Knight of Swords that wants something permanent. But we're going to have to see what these 2 blockages are right here. 8 of Swords, 2 of Swords. It could just be as simple as someone not seeing the situation for what it is, So we'll look into that. You do have the Ace of Swords. This is actually the first point where I feel love entering into the reading. The other 2 cards, I do not feel those 2 cards are love-focused. Again, even though these are love-focused readings, doesn't matter. I read intuitively, right? And what I would say here is like this is the first point where I feel like there could be someone who is opening up, or there's communication coming in. So either you're communicating with a person or they're communicating with you, but kind of feels like, again, it kind of feels like to me that is the first part where love actually shows up in the reading. So I'm going to be clarifying with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun, and let's see. With the Ace of Swords, you have this Resistance card. I mean, I'm laughing because you go down to the Eight of Swords, from the Ace of Swords going this direction, although you have the Chariot, which is like a victory. But we see the Resistance here in the reading, so I'm not sure if it's you or a person that is creating resistance. For some of you, I feel like it's both people because both of you show up in the reading. It's just that simple, Queen and King of Pentacles. So is this something that needs to be overcome is what I'm getting here? I would say yes, because of the 4 cups right next to it. Right there. This to me is saying that the resistance that's showing up could be due to past disappointments. And obviously, if you want love, you're going to have to open up to it. So, but I kind of feel like this is both people. And, that's what I'm getting. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Riches card. I told you that you were focusing on your finances. So I just feel like you're focusing on your own success and wealth, or building success, getting yourself to a certain point. Like I said, I really don't think this is a bad thing. I feel that you're just preparing yourself to be in a solid relationship, and part of that could be through abundance. With the Queen of Cups, here you go. You have this Appreciation card. This is another symbol of abundance. There's a cornucopia right here, and the cornucopias even represent, just abundance and creating abundance. But I feel like you're appreciating yourself. Again, I get a very I want to say self-centered, but that, I think people take that the wrong way. I don't think this is you being self-centered in a bad way. I feel like it's you being self-centered in a good way. It's like you're putting yourself first with this Queen of Cups. That's the best way I can describe this energy. I do think that in relationships, it's, usually a good thing to put yourself first, right? And, especially in the beginning of the relationship, because it's like if you both want different things, right, and you start submitting to the other person, and I'm not saying we don't have to make, I'm not saying that we don't have to find middle grounds and things like that in relationships, but I think that in the beginning of a relationship, it's probably better to figure out that things just aren't going to work in the first place, right? So it's like kind of like, how can both people get more of what they want in the relationship? That's almost what I'm getting here. I don't know, kind of confusing, but it could work. Could be a Leo coming in for some of you as well. Next, in the area of their current feelings for you, you have this territory card. Again, it's funny because I feel like if you're attracting a person, I do feel like they're kind of trying to, protect their territory. This could be the things that they own. They could be kind of trying to protect what they have in their life. And so you could be attracting a person like that. It could also be you. I'm also getting something about travel here. And a lot of the readings have had like long distance stuff show up. You have the Eight of Wands and the Chariot. You also have the Two of Swords as well. So, there's some sort of decision that needs to be made here, or some of you like could need to travel, or you could need to go somewhere else. You have the Four of Cups, the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. Like, I feel this definitely needs to be overcome. This could be a relationship coming in for you where it moves very quickly and it leads to a lot of success. But my problem is, obviously, this Eight of Swords and the Four of Cups. Too many past disappointments. I'm just going to show you both of these at the same time because, I feel like it's basically the same energy. Too many past disappointments. Eight of Swords is about not being able to see that things can be different, not being able to see that there are other types of relationships that exist, or that could exist. It's like, everybody, just like, I don't know, don't go on TikTok because it's toxic, but just look at TikTok. It's like, I look at TikTok and, it's like there are people that just talk about how horrible relationships are, yet I've seen plenty of good relationships in my life, right? It's like we get what we choose to focus on. And so I feel that this is saying that, yeah, maybe you've been through some difficult things, who hasn't, but, there could also be other types of relationships. You just have to start looking for it, right? And that's kind of like what I feel here. That Four of Cups, to me, is a card of mixing things together. It's a card of apathy, contemplation. He's trying to manifest something in his life, and he's being offered a new cup. So I feel like you are being offered a new cup. The funny thing is if you're attracting a person, I feel like they are also being offered a new cup, and maybe they're just not seeing it, or they're not looking at it the right. Sorry, Libra, I had someone at my front door, so I had to pause for a second. But let's see what is going on here. I kind of feel like two people who are not meeting eye to eye here. Let's see. Four of Cups, you have the Secrets card. I kind of feel like you or a person that you could be attracting has experienced a lot of secrets in the past. And even if we look at this, I get a very skeptical energy going across to the Page of Swords here. The Page of Swords is like spying, but the Page of Swords is like being a detective. The Page of Swords, to me, is the detective in the tarot. He really looks into situations. He really kind of looks at the ins and outs. But I almost get the feeling that someone here is like looking. There is something here in the reading. I said it earlier about kind of like looking for what you want to see. But I feel that, the Page of Swords could be like looking for secrets, like thinking that everybody's a liar and then being paranoid about it, right? I'm not sure if it's you or this person, but I would be careful of that. With the Eight of Swords, you have the Charity card. I feel like you just want equal give and take in a connection. I feel like you want someone who's generous, who's giving, and all this other stuff. I also feel if there is love coming in for you, it's like divinely guided with this energy. So I would open up to it with that Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords, she's standing in a very shallow pool of water, and it's meant to represent kind of like shallow emotions. Not like as in shallow, being shallow, but she could be making a much bigger deal out of something than it actually is. So, what I would say here is I would be careful of making, turning molehills into mountains, right? Or something like that, especially if you're meeting a new person here. I'm also getting something about children. Either you have children or you could be dealing with a person who has children. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Escape card here. It's kind of funny that you have, I'm just going to show you over here first, but it's almost like a chariot that is escaping. If we go like this, you have the Chariot right here, then you have this Escape card running back towards the past. The Chariot is facing forward, really, up on the table. I feel maybe you've experienced people who run away in the past, or you've experienced people who create resistance in general. And we even see that here with the Two of Swords. So I feel like this is an energy that you are trying to avoid, and maybe something that you have experienced a lot of, like runner, chaser type things, whatever you want to call it. I don't like the whole twin flame thing. I always talk about how, to me, the whole twin flame is very toxic, the whole twin flame belief. I think there are plenty of people who want to put the work in. That's what I would focus on finding. I wouldn't be focusing on finding a twin flame, soulmate, blah, blah, blah. To me, those things, like, people get caught up in that. They stay in abusive relationships and stuff. I don't like it. So that's what I'll say there. And what I would say here is focus on a person that puts in the work. You don't need to waste your time on someone who isn't willing to give you time, plain and simple. So, I've seen it too many times where people get into this like whole twin flame thing. They think, oh, they're running away, so they must be the runner. I must be the chaser. No, I would say there are plenty of people who will give you time right now. And that's what I would focus on. Next, in the area of, we're doing what's coming towards you, you have the rabbit. It says pregnancy and fears. I would definitely be careful getting pregnant at this time, although you don't have any other cards that really represent it, but definitely a possibility. I kind of also feel like this is saying that you could be making big quantum leaps as far as love is concerned. I think you could be making big, huge leaps in love. I also feel that you see this dandelion right here, and it's like sending its seeds out. I feel a lot of you could be putting out a lot of intentions. Eight of Wands was traditionally the arrows of love. You're telling the universe what you want in love. The universe is responding. So I'd be careful of the things that you're putting out. I believe the words that we use on ourselves are like self-hypnosis. So if you're telling yourself that you only attract cheaters, you're only going to attract cheaters. Change your words. And that's definitely popping into my head here. You have the Knight of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and the Chariot. I feel like this is what you want. I also feel like this is what you're attracting. Both. King of Pentacles is someone who wants to build and leave a legacy. I'm kind of cheating a little bit because based off the astrology, with Uranus and Taurus, anything in our life that could provide more freedom is something that we are probably going to be attracted to, even outside of love. But inside of love, we're probably going to want something that's a little bit more safe, secure, something where a person is more focused, like long-term goals, things like that. But, it's also about like material quality as well. So we're going to be very focused on attracting like quality relationships and things like that. So, it wouldn't surprise me if you start attracting someone who is focused on that. And the thing about freedom is like sometimes I think people think relationships take away our freedom, or maybe we're giving up freedom to be with a person. Kind of true, kind of not. I feel like, as long as you find someone where you're working together towards a goal, Chariot, then you will be victorious. It's like you'll be free together. So I feel kind of something about that here, about freedom. And that rabbit card with the fears on it, I feel like the fear is getting into something and losing your freedom, or losing your independence or whatever. I feel like, I feel it needs to be more looking at this as working on a team, right? And that's what I see here. It's like there are two sphinxes. They're both like different, but they're both guiding the chariot. And that's not really how you read the Chariot, but intuitively, that's what I'm getting. It's like you could be attracting a person where you are both kind of using your willpower to guide the Chariot. You're both going in the same direction. And I feel this will lead to a lot of victories. And I feel like you could be attracting this person. I feel I do get children here a lot for some reason. You don't really have any cards of children other than the Page of Swords, but there's something about children here. It's popping into my head. There's also something about moving here as well, but I wouldn't say this is like long distance. Other people have had stuff about long distance. I would say that if you are moving, you could be meeting a person, that's when you'll meet your person, is like when you move. But you could also be meeting a person who's moving to like where you live. So, take it how it resonates. The Knight of Swords is like rushing energy. And, it can kind of say, don't be too hasty, don't rush. I feel that this Knight of Swords here is saying, don't rush to make a judgment call or decision. It's like you might meet a person, your first, instinct might be, I don't really like this person, but really, maybe you do. And you might be saying, what the hell are you talking about? I'm like, well, I've read, there have been like a couple of studies now that prove that love at first sight basically doesn't exist. Usually it's like love at third date, right? So you have to give people more than one chance. Not telling you what to do, but again, if you meet someone and you kind of like them, I think it would be worth it to maybe give them another chance here. I don't know, it's popping into my head. Again, not telling you what to do. People always get mad at me. How dare you say I go on a date? I'm like, okay, do whatever you want. I don't care. Be single for life. I don't care, right? But what I would say here is, again, I'm just pointing out an opportunity. Don't shoot the messenger, right? With the Knight of Swords, you have the criticism card. Exactly what I'm saying here, Libra. It's like I feel that you could be looking at something a little too critically. And I'm not criticizing you. I'm not calling you out here. We've all done it, right? This is not a criticism. And what I would say here is I just feel like there could be, maybe you meet a person, you go on a date. There's like that type of situation is popping into my head here, where it's like you meet a person, you go on a date, and maybe you're just kind of like, do I like this person? Do I not like this person? You're kind of on the fence. I would say, are you looking for things to be right? Or are you looking for things to be wrong, right? And remember what we said about words and all this other stuff. So I'd be very careful of that. Obviously, if a person's a jerk, don't go on another date with them. Obviously, if they're totally not right, don't go on another date with them. But if you're kind of like on the fence, I feel like it would be worth it because it's kind of like what you discover over time that's important here. That's like the message I'm getting. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Rebellion card here. I'm wondering if you meet a person you think they're too boring at first, or maybe they kind of seem like you're not sure if they would be boring. I feel like you need to allow this person to surprise you if this message is for you. For others, I feel this is kind of talking about dating someone outside your comfort zone with the King of Pentacles. I think, I believe personally that we choose people inside our comfort zone. I bet if you look back at most of the people you date, there's something about them that is kind of like a comfort zone. Maybe we choose people with trauma. Maybe we choose people with a certain type of trauma because we know, it's almost like we know what to expect with that type of person. So that's why we choose comfort zone. The reason we don't go for those people that we think are out of our league is because they're outside of our comfort zone, right? So I kind of feel that here on this card where it's like, is there a type of person? Do you pick a person because they're safe? Do you always pick people because they're safe? Because you know what to expect? Because you know exactly how it's going to start? The beginning, middle, and end of the situation, right? And again, not criticizing you here. I don't know what's happening lately, but people have been like, oh, you're so perfect, like talking to me. I'm like, listen, trust me, I make billions of mistakes every single day. So it's like I'm far from perfect, right? But I've done this many times where it's like I know exactly how things are going to go, but I choose it anyway. So it's like what's outside of your comfort zone. With the Chariot, you have the Romance card. Are you kidding me? I'm telling you right now, it's like this is a person who wants to guide the Chariot with you that's coming in for you. There's nothing here about past love. If you're in a current relationship, this actually looks pretty good to me. I would say if you're in a current relationship, I would mix things up a little bit here. Maybe you need to kind of freshen up the relationship, keep the romance alive, as I love saying. But if you're getting into something new, I feel there's something very significant coming in for you with this Romance card, something very loving, something very caring. But you also, the main difference I see here is that between anything else that you've been with is that you have common goals, or maybe you meet or as the relationship develops, you find that you both want the same thing, which is like different than what you've experienced in the past. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this tent card. It says temporary situation. You have this kangaroo. It says unsettled times, need to plan ahead. So I feel like you already are planning ahead. That's why the Queen of Pentacles comes up in all of your readings. Because I feel like you're trying to be resourceful. You're trying to protect your resources, gather resources. I feel like you're trying to have money. I feel like you're trying to make things work financially. And that's what I get on that kangaroo card. The temporary situation, again, number one, could be like temporarily, you're not sure how you feel about a person at first, but maybe it develops into something more. You have the Page of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Temperance card. I feel for some of you, I would definitely be careful of children. And what I mean by that is if you're not trying to get pregnant, I would be very careful with this Page of Swords energy here. I don't know, it's like I've been getting a lot of fertile energy in these readings, which happened at the beginning of the year as well. So if you're not trying to get pregnant, I would be careful. Follow the typical rules. We all know what to do not to get pregnant, right? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, ask your mom when you get older. But what I would say is that for some of you, I would be careful because it could be unexpected. What I do feel like is unexpected as well is that someone is interested in you. I feel some of you, it's like you could have your eye on a person who's like very attractive. And sorry, I busted my elbow the other day, Libra, and it's driving me crazy. But and there might be something about that. Maybe someone has something like a cast on their arm or something like that. Popped into my head just when I said that. But anyway, I feel what's interesting is that this person is also interested in you. I feel like this person is a producer. I'm getting the word producer popping into my head. I'm not saying they're like a music producer, although I guess that's possible. But what I feel is like they literally produce things like items, material goods. They produce something. I feel, I'm not sure if that's like an entrepreneurial energy that I'm getting, but I feel like this person's like a freaking factory. I feel like you will know when you meet this person because I feel like they pump stuff out in a good way. Next, you have the Two of Swords. Again, I think what could be unexpected here is that you're leaving a comfort zone. So I feel like you could be leaving a comfort zone and going over here. Again, she's sitting where she has always been. She needs to experience something new behind her. That new island behind her could represent like new love, new opportunities, pretty much new anything. But she has to get over there, right? She has to cross through the water, her emotions, to get to where she wants to go. With the Temperance card, this is about turning something into another thing. Could be attracting a Sagittarius into your life. I definitely feel this person has Sagittarius in their chart. I also feel like they could have Cancer in their chart. I do not think you're attracting a Cancer. Of course, it's always possible, but what I would say is I feel like this person's like a Cancer moon or Cancer rising or something along those lines. One of their major placements like moon, rising, Venus, even Jupiter, whatever. It could be in Cancer. But the Sagittarius card, I feel like it's about turning one thing into another. And I also feel like it's saying what's surprising is that meeting this person is going to change your life. So you could be meeting a person who literally changes your life. With the Page of Swords, you cannot make this stuff up, Libra. I'm telling you right now. This card, look what it says. Protection. There's a baby on it. I would be wearing protection if I were you, or I would be putting protection on. I don't know. Ask your mom when you get older. Exactly like I said. Can't make this stuff up. With the Two of Swords, you have the Patience card. I feel like this person is going to be very patient, and that's probably something that stands out to you. I'm getting the words like you can't rattle this person's cage. So if you're meeting a new person, I feel like you can't, this person, there is one new person coming in for you. I'm only seeing it as one person, which is crazy. I'm sure many people are interested in you. Of course, it's always true, but I think that's what people don't realize is that we're all a lot hotter than we think, Libra, and that's definitely popping into my head here, but I think this is one person. And what I think here is that you can't rattle this person's cage. Like, when maybe your things happen, in relationships, and maybe you say things to this person, it's almost like they don't react emotionally. And I feel like they're just a very stable figure in your life, very emotionally stable. With the Temperance card, you have the Inspiration card. This person could be very inspirational as well, because again, you have that Chariot. There is a major focus on that Chariot in this reading. Again, it's probably, is that the only major arcana you have here? Yes. It's the only major arcana that you have in this reading, which is pretty crazy. And it's a card of success, but there's something there. I feel like you inspire each other to become more successful. Power couple type vibes for sure. But this looks pretty good, Libra. Love it. So we're going to pull 3 yes/no question cards now. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3. Feel free to pause this reading if you need time to think your questions, but 1, 2, 3. For question number 1, hell yes, love. Lovers. So, yes. For question number 2, I would say yes, but I feel like you need to leave a comfort zone. 2 wands, 2 swords. Both cards to me represent leaving a comfort zone, so yes. For question number 3, I would say no. I feel like you're walking away from something here. But pretty straightforward, definitely new love. There was like literally nothing about the past in this reading, so there you go. I feel like you're focusing on something new. But looks pretty good, so thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your rest of the year.